who's wrong and who's wronger. In this corner, followed by millions, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. And in that corner, ignored by millions, Steve Dash Rinko Leavers.
Hey everybody, from the hallowed halls of Nashville, Tennessee, I am Steve Forever Young Olivas, and from the Polar Express land of Indiana, he is James the Bloomis off the Rose Breakwell. And James, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing well. There are not really polar conditions here since it's July. Believe it or not, Indiana does have summer. I know being in Nashville, you have no idea of other climates in the world, but trust me, there is no snow at this particular moment.
I'll be darned. Well, you have joined Wrong and Wronger.
Do you even know what podcast we're doing?
Wrong and Wronger. It's been a long time.
Yeah, because we recorded last time. We recorded 2 back-to-back to coincide with your amazing journey up here. So we had a bit of a hiatus from each other, and those were the best few days of my life. And now we're back to it talking again. And I got to say, it's kind of a letdown. I missed the break. The absence does not make the heart grow fonder.
James, it was not the best days of your life because I read your newsletter, and it seems you had a bit of an adventure.
Yeah, but even the worst 10-hour journey with 4 screaming kids in the backseat is still better than 20 minutes talking to you, so I'll take it.
Oh, I'm going pitter-patter over here. You know how to make a boy swoon.
Yes.
Well, anyway, so Wrong and Wronger, this is the podcast where James and I debate a topic, and we flip a coin, the Guam Quarter of Fate, to decide who argues which, and it's an improvised comedic meltdown that you will be exposed to. And just as a little tease, my friend, what is the topic going to be today?
Today we are going to debate, should you brush your teeth before or after you take a shower?
Ooh, brush teeth before a shower or after a shower? This might be one of the only debates we've ever had that has ramifications that will ripple throughout the human race.
Well, yes, obviously. I mean, okay, all of our debates have ramifications that ripple throughout the human race. Let's not undersell ourselves. Also, let's not oversell ourselves by calling this a comedic debate. we might be the only 2 people on the planet Earth who laugh at these, but everyone understands the implications of these debates. This is serious business here. We got to settle this once and for all.
And speaking of settling somebody's hash, this week, the debate, I texted you to find out if I actually lost the debate, and do you remember what you texted back to me?
I think I said it was by 10 votes, if I recall correctly.
10 votes. We have thousands, literally, thousands of people on Twitter and on Facebook voting on this thing, and I lost by roughly 10 votes. That, to me, there could be hanging chads that are coming into play. I should have demanded a recount with some election commission to look over the actual physical ballots.
10 people rushed in to save the day. They knew what the world needed. What the world needed was for me to have another week off from dancing and to humiliate you. They gave the world what it needed. So thank you, 10 voters, whoever you are. You stepped up and did a good deed.
Yeah. Well, and it does tend to even out. And we talked about that when you lost 3 in a row, because I have currently lost 3 in a row. And so the scales of justice do tend to be relatively in homeostasis, shall we say.
So this is a short-term tiebreaker this week, huh? It'll determine who's going to start the next streak.
7-game series.
Or, yeah, it's Game 7, or maybe it's just a new permanent trend that you will always be dancing and I'll just always be laughing at you. I would be okay with that as well.
I've read some of the comments on YouTube. I actually went through. I didn't even know people could leave comments on YouTube, but someone pointed that out to me, and I went back and I read all of them. But I do want to, before we get to the debate, you have some other exciting news that I wanted to give you a platform to at least announce to our 3 listeners. I'm pretty sure it's bumped up to 3 now. But you were in Chicago a couple weeks ago, which is the other reason we had to do that one early. And do you want to say to the listeners what went on in Chicago?
I don't think I have exciting news from Chicago. I was up there. I was filming an ad, so I don't know that anybody's going to get too excited about that.
I thought that was... All right, let me segue a little less ham-handedly into talking about your Bucks.
Okay, yeah. I announced this on some of the other platforms before, but yeah, I got 2 book deals for some guided journals that are going to be coming out, I think next year. We haven't quite finalized the dates for that yet. So if you've got a kid who needs a little help going along, expressing their thoughts in a awesome way, I'm going to be there. Guiding them through that process. Really, who better to guide your child than me? Look at what I've done for my kids. I've ruined them completely. Now give me a crack at yours.
I'm sorry, Jay. What is the title of your second book again? It eludes me.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. So let's not talk about the first or second book. Let's focus on books 3 and 4 now.
All right. Well, very good on you, man. And at some point, the irony of that whole line of questions will become apparent to everybody.
Yes.
All right. Well, the way that we usually get into this is by giving each other a compliment. And I wanted to kind of make that book deal a compliment, but I don't know if I still can, if that one counts. In the meantime, though, I am just on pins and needles waiting to hear what you have cooked up, because you have had forever to come up with the ultimate of compliments for me.
I actually had your compliment ready 30 seconds after you left my house. I would like to compliment
really?
you on how fast you move. I would never have imagined such speed from you. The second we quit recording, you were out that door. I've never seen somebody flee so fast. My wife thought you were going to stick around for a while. No, we clicked off. You had seen enough of my children. There had been several disasters unfold on camera, and you were gone, never to return. And sure, you said all the right things. You acted like you weren't bothered. But your actions told a different story. You were gone. You shook the dust off your feet, never to return. So congratulations on having the good judgment to escape when you still can. I did not escape, and now I'm trapped here for life. So congratulations on not being me.
I thought briefly about salting your front lawn as I was leaving, like the Romans at Carthage.
Yeah,
but I decided to spare you.
Yeah, my lawn has
because
enough
I
trouble
like your wife.
The way it is, you know. There's a pig roaming around out there. It's not. It's not the best lawn you're gonna see. It's not gonna make any appearances on HGTV. Yes.
All right, I did feel like I bounced a little quick, but I didn't feel like you were making any effort to keep me. And so there was that awkward moment when we finished, and then you had like naked children that were setting the upstairs on fire that you had to go deal with. And so my thought was, I'd love to stick around and say goodbye to your wife, who was upstairs probably calf roped in like a closet. But I thought I'll just let you kind of you kind of set the metronome of whether I was staying or leaving, and you sort of put your hand on the small of my back and like a good dance lead guided me right out that front door. And as I was saying goodbye, I heard the bolt click in the deadlock.
Well, I wanted to make sure you didn't have second thoughts, but yeah, perhaps we were both subconsciously guiding you for the door, but we did get you out before any fires started, so that was good as well. Yeah,
fantastic.
The real teller will be if you make a return trip next year. Actually, it'll be interesting to see if this podcast still exists next year, or if either of us is still alive then. We'll see if there's ever a repeat of this podcast, and we'll see how fast you run away next time. I suspect you'll run away so fast you won't even set foot in my house in the first place, which would truly show you learned your lesson.
I got a corporate gig in Indianapolis in November, so we shall see.
And actually,
I'm guessing you're going to conveniently be busy that night.
You know what? You set the tone for that whole day, though. I offered you beer, and you said, no, I'll have water. And that was just downhill from there. That is not the behavior of somebody who's sticking around for a while. That is the behavior of, I am here for business, and I am out the door. Don't even try to stop me. And see, I was hurt.
I think you even offered me like real beer.
I did. I had like 16 different choices. I mean, I know I need alcohol to put up with you, and instead I felt like I had to reciprocate and deal with you sober, and then I had to deal with my kids sober, and that was a lot of added stress.
Yeah. No, as I look back on it, I do feel a lot of guilt and personal responsibility for everything that went down. However, having said all of that, I will say in the video era of Wrong and Wronger, with one exception, there was a statistical anomaly. There was a spike the week we had, do you eat macaroni and cheese with a fork or with a spoon? If you take that one out of the mix, this was the most watched of our episodes ever in the video era of Wrong and Wronger. So there's something about the synergy that you and I have together, that sexual tension that drew people and made them hang on our every word.
I think I just teased it that there was a disaster involving my children, and everybody just tuned in to see the train wreck. And a train wreck they got. It delivered exactly what was promised by that lead-in. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, when I described to my wife what happened and when she actually watched, what she didn't realize was the camera was focused on us and all of the train wreck was happening behind the camera. So you could only, as the viewer, hear what was going on and watch Breakwell's reaction as he realized the fabric of his family was starting to come unraveled right there live on the podcast.
Let's just be grateful we didn't shoot facing the stairs. That would have been a very different podcast.
Several public decency laws would probably have been violated during that show.
We probably would have scrapped that whole episode. So it's good that we shot facing the wall. We'll repeat that in the future.
Well, if you haven't watched the episode, A, you are the only one, and B, get back and watch it. It's 20 minutes that you're not going to regret watching, like many of the episodes that you have before you. And speaking of, last thing, James, promise.
All right.
Last thing. On your birthday,
yes,
we got onto Spotify after months of trying to get onto Spotify, and we seem to have done them proud because we had the best episode ever the first week we were on Spotify. But people can go, if they have the Spotify app and they use it, that Wrong and Wronger is on there.
Yeah, that's exciting. And it basically, Steve killed himself to get it on there, made a few voodoo sacrifices. You don't really want to go into all the unspeakable acts he had to do to make that happen. So make his effort not be in vain. Go and listen to us on Spotify. Not all the episodes are on there, but I think at least 10 of them are on there. And really, that's all of us that you'll be able to handle anyway. And all of the new episodes will be on there. So hop on Spotify. Apparently, that's what all the kids are listening to these days. I won't say enjoy because I don't think anybody actually enjoys this podcast, but endure this podcast listening to it on Spotify.
Nobody enjoys, least of all you and I.
Yes. There's a pig trying to break into my room. You keep talking. I'm gonna let the pig in real quick. Just gonna make a brief cameo here.
Last tidbit about the Spotify, if you haven't listened to any of the other podcasts, 10 Minutes to Save Your Marriage, 2 of the episodes are up, just as a little teaser to give you 20 minutes of us doing 2 episodes, one each, 10 Minutes to Save Your Marriage, and get a little taste of what we're doing, and that's become a very popular podcast as well. So thank you, everybody, for paying attention to what it is that we do.
Yeah, it's passed up our main podcast in a lot of ways, so it's an exciting time, and if you're not listening to it, you're a bad person and you're missing out. That's all there is to it.
Wow! All right. Way to just come right at him, James. I appreciate the directness of your approach. And there's nothing that will win friends and influence people like insulting the character of the folks you're trying to attract.
Why did you partner up with me? I did not come to you with kind words and good intentions. Let's be honest here.
Oh, yeah. All right. I will continue to advance your brand and agree with you. But anyway, let's get to the debate.
Yes.
So remind one more time, what is it we're doing?
Should you brush your teeth before or after you take a shower? And the Guam Quarter of Fate will decide which side of this argument we are each arguing. Heads, I will argue brushing your teeth beforehand. Tails, I will argue brushing your teeth afterwards.
All right, heads before, tails after. It is up, and it is tails. I don't know if you can see that at home. Guam is looking at us. So you will brush your teeth after the shower.
This is excellent because that's what I do in real life. That's what all sensible people do in real life. And I don't even know how you could argue otherwise. You go and you get your whole body clean. You're all clean and ready for the day. And then, and only then, you brush your teeth, brush your tongue, get your breath good and ready, the final piece of the puzzle put together so then you can go out and face the world. If you brush your teeth before you shower, your mouth feels clean and the rest of you's dirty. It just kind of makes you feel unclean altogether. Your breath has that much longer to downgrade. It makes sense with the flow of it. That you want to brush your teeth afterwards, after everything else is clean, to kind of put that minty fresh veneer on yourself for the day so that you can go out the door with that sparkling smile, feeling confident. If you brush your teeth beforehand, you're not all the way awake yet. You haven't had that warm water hit your face, so you're not going to do as good of a job. You're going to be more at risk of cavities and gingivitis. You need to be all the way awake to brush your teeth and give it the attention it deserves. And I don't know how you can argue otherwise.
Well, first of all, if you want to be less at risk of gingivitis and cavities and tooth decay, you would want to brush your teeth as close as you can as possible to the last time you brushed your teeth. So that would obviously be before the shower. That's like, if the short stop is very short, that the game lasts a little bit longer if there's a pop-up, because it takes just a little longer to get down to his glove. Anyway, the reason I don't believe that you, of all people, will take a shower with dirty teeth, that just seems like bad form to me. And furthermore, you and I both got a little facial hair around the mouthful area that is an adjective. And so you get a little splatter in there. Plus, if you're like me, you got like a towel either wrapped around your waist or maybe not. It depends on how risque you're feeling that morning. But when you brush your teeth, there's a little bit of splatter. Like you get some in your chest hair, you get some in your facial hair, and that all rinses through. It cleans out in the shower. Otherwise, you need like a putty knife to get that stuff out before you put on your dress shirt to go to work. So obviously, you brush your teeth beforehand. And that, why does it, all right, I don't even know what I wrote that one down. But the point is, that's why you do it beforehand. It's the same reason you shave before you shower, so you can squirt all of that shaving cream off of your face. It goes down the drain. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to mess up a towel or anything. I even shave in the shower because that way it's all just right down the drain. No fuss, no muss. There's no argument that you can possibly make that has any rational sense other than that.
That might be the most
disturbing... There was more after that, but I forgot what it was.
Yeah, that might be the most disturbing series of arguments you've ever made. And the fact that you wrote them down so you wouldn't forget them bothers me to the core of my being.
How do you know what I'm doing over here? How dare you spy on me?
I don't know why I wrote that one down. You said it. It's recorded. It's in the podcast for all time. So just to be clear, your argument for why you have to shower afterwards... after you brush your teeth, is because you brush your teeth like a maniac, flinging toothpaste all over the place. I just envision your bathroom walls just covered in toothpaste, just smeared everywhere, soaking into the drywall. Your wife walks in the bathroom and is just horrified by the scene before. It looks like a murder scene, but with toothpaste instead of blood. Like, how does this not stay in your mouth? You got to use some arm control. You got to keep it fast and swift and concise, but in a very confined area. You're not brushing your eyebrows. You're not brushing your chest hair. You're brushing your teeth. And maybe if you were a little more awake, you wouldn't have that splatter. If you had taken a shower to wake up and open up your pores and really feel life and be in the moment, you would have enough control that toothpaste would stay in your mouth and not covering literally every other part of your body. Like, you might be the worst toothbrusher on the face of the planet. I would ask for a video, but it would scar us all. You just have to be all blurred out for the parts we don't want to see. But you're like a Tasmanian devil flinging toothpaste every which way. And I don't think you understand how a toothbrush works. So obviously, you need to brush your teeth after you shower. That's the only way that makes sense.
Man, toothpaste is the best possible answer when Dateline NBC comes walking through there with a black light. So that's where I'm sticking. But the other reason to brush your teeth, I
thought you couldn't get any more disturbing, and you did. There's always one level lower with you. I should never challenge you. I should never doubt you, because you could always go there.
What happens when you reach the bottom of the barrel and then you lift up the barrel and look underneath? The last argument that I will make is that the reason you brush your teeth beforehand is because when you get out of that shower and you fluff up your hair and you dry your body up, you can just get on with your day. All right, or your evening. If you're going to shower at night, you brush your teeth before the shower, you just put on those jammies or you put on your underpants, your undershirt, you go right to bed. You're clean, you're smooth, you get under the sheets and you start sawing logs. In the daytime, when you brush your teeth in the morning, if you shower in the morning, that as soon as you get out of the shower, you just get dressed and go. You don't have to worry about pausing at the sink and doing something that could potentially, because I don't think you can honestly say that you have never gotten toothpaste anywhere other than inside the confines of your mouth. Like a little bit does escape every once in a while. There is a jailbreak that you have to deal with. And why do you want to do that after you shower? If you dribble a little bit into the sink when you spit and you lose some self-control and it comes off of your chin onto the vanity, like then you've got to wipe it off, then you're just gross. Don't you want to be gross going into the shower instead of coming out of the shower? Come on, James.
I'm not convinced you know how toothbrushes or showers work, to be honest. Years of grime is built up on every part of you. I'm going to stick with control. I think you want to be as awake as possible. You want to be feeling as good as possible so you can have your teeth catch up with the rest of you. I think the teeth are what you want. You want that to be the crowning achievement. That's the tiara on your outfit. This is the smile that's going to lead your way into every room, and you want them to be shining the second you walk out the door. You don't want to polish them half an hour before or 45 minutes before. You want to get them ready right before you get out the door. They should be the final thing you do before leaving. And that way, you know exactly what you have to deal with. You don't have to worry about what's, you have something stuck in there or whatever. And, if you have a Steve Olivas level of control, even after showering, if you're still flinging toothpaste everywhere, I mean, you can brush your teeth with the towel on and then get dressed if you really want to. But for most of us rational human beings who are fully awake when brushing our teeth, that level of precaution isn't even necessary. I've never had an issue with flinging toothpaste everywhere. Now, my 2-year-old does. That's why she has to use clear toothpaste. So, I mean, your motor skills might be on roughly the same level, so I could get that. But she takes baths and not showers, so she can't really enter into this argument. But for those of us who are adults, who are old enough to shower, you shower, then you brush your teeth, and you get on with your day, and you go out there and you conquer life with the cleanest teeth possible. And that's all there is to it.
James, I don't spit into a propeller when I'm doing my teeth, but you can't tell me you've never dribbled. That just doesn't make any sense.
Maybe like to the edge of my lip. I don't even know why I keep coming
back every week.
But that's it. It's not going down to my chest hair, that's for sure.
Your chest hair comes up to your tongue. What are you talking about? All right, we got to settle this hash some other time. That's all the time we have for the debate. Now we have to move on to the numbers portion, and my people need to pay some very rapt attention to what Breakwell's about to say, because I can't lose for a 4th week. That would be unprecedented, and that's just, it would be inhumane for all of you, not for me. I enjoy it.
Let me just congratulate our smart, wise voters for 3 weeks in a row doing the right thing, and I trust you'll continue that streak. Just remember Steve over there flinging toothpaste to every corner of his bathroom. And that tells you everything you need to know about this debate. So if you want to vote for me and say that you should brush your teeth after you shower, vote for 16. If you want to vote 16. For Steve and his whatever he was talking about over there, vote for 75. Nice. And if you want
Mean Joe Green, nice.
If you want to throw away your vote on a random, you can vote for 25. Those are the options.
25.
And remember, if you vote for me, you're giving me a week off, you're rewarding my beautiful children, and you are voting for brushing your teeth after the shower. If you are insane and want to brush your teeth before you shower, vote for Steve. I don't know why anybody would do that, but those are the options.
I just got to say, people have missed your children, James, and it's been too long. It's been too long. You know, the most popular video we have ever done, and I believe this includes the ones on your feed, but I haven't gone all the way through your account, but we had almost 25,000 just on YouTube. I don't know what the Facebook, that usually adds about 10 or 12, but the one where you did the Napoleon Dynamite dance and your kids were giggling like mad scientists all around you while they were trying to do the dance, that one knocked it out of the park numbers-wise, and that's the one that I think people want to recreate next week.
It's like chocolate cake. You can't have too much of a good thing. So we've had dessert that one time, but now it's back to the meals that are good for us, the asparagus and the broccoli, and that's what you bring to the table. It's not as tasty or as enjoyable, but it's what we need. So vote to say that I won and vote to punish Steve. That's all we need.
All right. Well, if you want to do what you hate but what's good for you, keep tuning into Wrong and Wrong, or go to Facebook. Breakwell's got on his page. Follow Wrong and Wronger. There's a Wrong and Wronger page on Facebook and on Twitter. Catch us on any of the platforms. Spotify is now on board with Wrong and Wronger. We've got SoundCloud. We've got YouTube, of course, the flagship. We've got iTunes if you've got an Apple. We've got Podcast Addict if you've got an Android. And we've got Stitcher Radio, which I believe is the most popular of any of the platforms that we have from an audio standpoint, James.
It is. I love Stitcher, and if you really want to be efficient, you can listen to us at double speed. It still works. You get my wisdom twice as fast, and you can speed through Steve's part, and it'll hurt you half as much. So I definitely recommend double speed if you can do it.
Man, well, we got to get out of here in double time. So until next week, this is Steve Olivas for James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell saying thanks for watching and listening, everybody, and always remember, 2 wrongs can make a right.